10 celebrities who clawed their way from nothing to everything. Before the mansions, before the awards, before their names lit up every marquee in America. These 10 people had nothing. No money, no connections, no safety net. Some slept in cars. Some sold their own dog just to eat. Here's how 10 of America's biggest stars turned rock bottom into the top of the world. 1. Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty in rural Mississippi, raised for years by her grandmother, Oprah grew up with almost nothing. She bounced between relatives, faced real hardship as a kid, and had every reason to disappear into the system. Instead, she talked her way into local radio as a teenager and never stopped climbing until she built a media empire worth billions. 2. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Cut from the Canadian Football League with $7 in his pocket, Dwayne Johnson moved back into his parents' cramped apartment with no plan B. Wrestling was the only door left open. He walked through it, built The Rock from scratch in front of hostile crowds, and turned himself into the highest-paid actor on the planet. 3. Jim Carrey. As a teenager, Jim Carrey's family lost their home and lived out of a van, then a tent on a relative's lawn. He dropped out of school to work security shifts to help support them. He wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered years before he had a dime, and eventually cashed a bigger one than that. 4. Kevin Hart. Raised in North Philadelphia by a single mother who kept him disciplined and grounded, Kevin Hart got booed off stages during his earliest open mics. He kept a day job selling shoes just to survive, while chasing comedy at night. 2 decades later, he was selling out arenas as one of the highest-grossing comedians alive. 5. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg battled homelessness and addiction while raising a young daughter alone, at one point relying on welfare just to get by. She found her footing in small theater productions before Hollywood took notice. She went on to become one of the rare few to win an Oscar, an Emmy, a Grammy, and a Tony. 6. Sylvester Stallone. Broke and nearly homeless in New York, Sylvester Stallone once sold his own dog for $50 just to pay rent, then bought him back the moment he sold his first script. That script was Rocky. Studios rejected him as an actor over and over. He refused to sell it unless he could star in it himself. 7. Jennifer Lopez. Growing up in the Bronx, Jennifer Lopez faced a family that didn't believe in her dream and had to fight for every audition she got, sometimes with almost nothing to fall back on. She kept pushing through years of rejection in dance and film before breaking through, and eventually became one of the most successful triple threats in entertainment history. 8. Chris Pratt. At one point, Chris Pratt was living out of a van in Maui, working odd jobs and barely scraping by. A chance encounter got him discovered and cast in a small TV role. From there, he climbed all the way to becoming the star of one of the biggest franchises in movie history. 9. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey spent nearly 3 years homeless, living out of his car while chasing a career in stand-up comedy with no guarantee it would ever pay off. He kept performing anyway. That grind eventually built him a career spanning stand-up, television, radio, and one of the most watched daytime shows in the country. 10 to 50 Cent. Growing up in Southside Queens, 50 Cent lost his mother as a child and turned to the streets to survive. He was shot 9 times and left for dead before he ever released an album. He turned that near-death experience into fuel and became one of the best-selling hip-hop artists of all time. 10 different paths. One thing in common, none of them quit. If you want more real stories behind the fame, hit subscribe, because this is just the beginning.